Okay. All right, so we are sitting here with Mr. Colton, man. Clearly, a little bit of a Michigan State fan?
Yeah.
How come? What happened at Michigan State?
My mom and dad. My dad played football. My mom was a bartender.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. So for all you Michigan fans, sorry, this guy's Michigan State's dad. And so we're sitting here with Colton and Mom, Missy, and we have had this young man under care for just over 1 month, right?
Yep.
And so we just did your first progress exam last week, and we saw some good news. But today, you had probably the best news I have heard in a long, long time. So what happened today? It's been 30 days since what?
I haven't had a seizure.
Awesome.
Since when?
Since
May.
May.
Yeah.
It's May.
Last May.
That's pretty stinking awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let's go back through. So right before we started with Colton under care and went through his history, he had some challenge. We had the EEGs and everything scheduled in the hospital, but we had chatted the first day, gone through his case history, done his scans, and then what happened that last week, right kind of before we got started with him?
Well, right before we got started with him, he had multiple back-to-back seizures, was put into the hospital, and was unable to basically come out of a seizure for a good day and a half, almost 2 days.
Yeah.
And was passing out and was just exhausted.
Yeah, just had a really tough time. And just to be clear, it had been, because the seizures had started back up for you last May. So this is
Correct.
the first time you've gone a month without seizures since last May.
Yes, correct.
So, but it's been a month from today. You know, we're shooting this video April 21st, I think, on what it is.
It is.
And so literally I went and, when you were getting your scans here today, I went and looked at his chart. Since your second adjustment here, you have not had a seizure. So that very first adjustment. And do you remember what part of your spine was it that had the trouble to it?
I don't remember.
It was kind of the neck and that whole area, and then
Remember
down.
C1,
Yeah.
C2?
I know you were listening! What's the one nerve we talk about all the time?
The Vegas.
Yeah, the vagus nerve. Because what also used to happen when you, around the time of having the seizure and the build-up to the seizure, what would happen for you?
What would happen?
My stomach would hurt really bad.
Yeah. And so that kind of tipped us off to everything with the vagus nerve. And
But we noticed differences with him, too, since he started this, and he's calmer. He's slowing down.
Perfect.
I mean...
And as we look at that, what was the thing that you got to do? So now that you've been getting better, now that you're calmer, now that your nervous system is working better, what did you do Friday night? This last Friday night, did you go?
I had a sleepover.
Yeah, perfect. Was that fun?
Yeah.
And before you started getting adjusted and those things were happening, if you had a sleepover or you were tired or stayed up late, what sometimes would come with that?
I'd probably have one.
Perfect.
Next day?
Yeah. So now, not only are we 30 days without a seizure, but you get to live rockin' life and do the things you love, which other than when this heals, what's your favorite sport?
Football.
Well, yeah, that's right. I agree with that. But you also play baseball. That's
yeah.
right. That's right. Because in football, you could just take that up and club some people with it,
And
right?
he did it before.
I'm sure you thought of it that way. Absolutely. Well, last couple things are here too for you, Mom. What would you say if we were to show this to other kiddos who have had seizures and stress and that sort of stuff, and all the way back to the birth history with him, and we talked about everything with the neck? What are your thoughts on chiropractic and what you've experienced in this first month?
I've never experienced anything like this. To me, this has been, this is kind of like an answer that we needed. I mean, it's been amazing. It's been amazing to watch him change. It's been amazing to be able to to understand. There was so much more of the whole picture that you gave us. And it made a huge difference to us. And a lot of things that you said, we were like, oh yeah, that other people didn't explain to us or didn't even touch on, but that's who, we kind of felt like that's who Colton was.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so much that that's who Colton was, as it was that that's how his body was making Colton.
How it had to adapt and deal with the stress that was on it.
And so now I feel like we would see this Colton sometimes.
Yeah, you admit, yeah.
And I feel like now we get him so much more. And that's, how do you Like, how do you put that into words?
No.
Except for it's been amazing for us.
And that's what I was sharing with you guys today when you shared me that news is I love that he doesn't have seizures anymore, but I love that you have him living life the way he's supposed to. You have that Colton because, like I told you, for me, being a parent first, that's what motivates me with this.
I don't mean to cry. It just...
Remember, we have all those other guy doctors shouting.
I know.
Otherwise, I'd be crying along with you here and doing it
just...
that way. So, but I got to act tough today.
It's just,
it's... No, I love it. And we knew, you know what, for him, going back to that case history in the beginning, remember we chatted about all that stuff and went through it, we just kind of knew, and I know for you guys, that maybe it was the first time in a long time you left here that night feeling hopeful and confident we could get him better. And I'm not going to lie, I knew we were going to get you better, but 1 month, you're kind of a little bit of a show-off here, a little bit of an overachiever, all right? I love it. I'm not complaining, by any means.
He is an overachiever.
He is.
You know?
And now he's full throttle, and no subluxations, no inhibitions. All right, so we'll check back in with you maybe in a month or two, see how you're doing, see as we get into summer and that sort of stuff. Sound cool?
Yeah.
Dr. Tony, we're not leaving Dr. Tony, are we?
That's right. Who got scanned today? Who's next to get healthy and well? That's right. All right, so if you're watching this video and you got a kiddo who's been through something like that, just make sure, give him a chance to get in here and get well and get him better. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.